actual 10 or 15 minutes ago. Yes?
Do you think Missouri's math test is fair compared to the others?
Yes. Yes, I do. And whether or not I think it's fair, I have a general vision that the way we test you is going to change. I think the whole country is going to start changing how we evaluate the way your teacher's doing his or her job and the way you are doing your job as a student. I think that there's going to be a lot of change as we go through the future. A lot of times, and we've had several pieces of legislation over the years in Washington and in Jefferson City that makes teachers feel like they have to teach to a test, right? They've got to make sure you do well on the test. And sometimes, even if you do well on the test, you may not really know that much. You may not really be that proficient of a student. I think we're probably moving into a period of time where you don't really have a math test, but maybe you have a series of smaller tests where we take a look at your progress, right? Where we take a look to see if you're learning more than where you started. Not just, well, here's the test, what do you know? Oh, well, gosh, you don't know very much. You're not a very good student and your teacher's probably not a very good teacher. Right? I think that dynamic is going to change. I think a lot of us in the state have a vision that we're going to change the way we test students. We're going to change the way we evaluate teachers. I would guess the 13 of you in the LEAP class are 13 of the best test takers in the building. Right?
Yeah.
So your teacher, if she is in some sort of an evaluation, if she is being evaluated, and the 13 of you are my test takers, pretty sure I'm going to do all right. She's going to do all right. You guys are awesome. What about the 13 kids in the building that are the worst test takers? That exam might not look so good for them or the teacher. So I think we're going to change the way we do math tests. We're trying to be reflective about public education. When I went to RAPEC, I had 169 kids in my class. We took a dirt road to and from school. Every boy had a pocket knife in their pocket, and all the pickup trucks in the parking lot had a gun rack in the back, and nobody said a word or thought twice about it. Everybody almost had the same religion. We were almost all either at the Baptist church or the Assembly of God church or the Methodist church. This was a pretty common community. Most everybody's mom or dad or grandma and grandpa farmed. And if you didn't farm, your dad or mom had a job in the city, usually doing something like working at the steel plant, which isn't there anymore, or at the Bendix plant, which has half the employees they have today. And this place has really changed. Our school looks different than it did when I started back in the early 1970s. All of the schools in our state, as we are trying to be reflective, have changed. By the way, guess how many school districts are in the state of Missouri today?
How many school districts?
400.
More.
800.
No, not that many.
Alright, 650.
You're close. Yes?
560 something.
You're very close. We have 524 school districts. I guess we can't count Kansas City now. We have 523 school districts in the state of Missouri. So 523 school districts. Some have, the graduating class is 13, right? The senior class is 13. And some, the senior class is 1,300. And some have money for all the computers and the desks and the fanciest furniture and equipment they could want. And others don't have enough money to pay the light bill to keep the building open. We've got to be pretty reflective about how we're educating kids, and that comes all the way from how we're paying for the schools, all the way down to how we're testing